Hey guys, CBK here bringing you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video, and I finally got a PS5. That's right, it was a little bit of an early birthday present, but I'm so excited to finally get to play Spider-Man Remastered. My plan is to host some live streams where we can talk Marvel Spider-Man 2 theories and more, so keep an eye out for an announcement for that. But today I want to talk about things that I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The majority of the things on this list are features that were in Spider-Man PS4, and just some things that I don't really care to see return in the sequel. I should say that while I find Spider-Man PS4 to be a masterpiece, there are definitely some features that hold the game back a little bit. So with that being said, let's get into the features I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. So the first thing that I don't really care to see in this game is non-superhero related missions. I always find the non-superhero related missions to be the least replayable whenever I revisit Spider-Man PS4. The first MJ mission that introduced the demons in the art gallery was fine. I didn't mind that one. It was a cool way to establish MJ within the universe, but all of the other ones really dragged the game down and completely destroyed the pace. First of all, I think that those missions are pretty easy to do, but they're just very time consuming. Deep down, we all just want to go back to playing as Spider-Man while dealing with these missions. And the same could be said for the Miles Morales missions in the first game. The one that I really liked was the one where Miles had to retrieve antibiotics and sneak around Rhino. I thought that was a really cool way to establish that history with Rhino between Miles. But in my opinion, if Insomniac wanted to give us that more human experience within missions, I think it'd be better served as Peter Parker missions to change up the pace. He's the character that I care about the most and the one that I want to spend the most time with. So if they want to get us out of the suit, that's completely fine. But have those missions be centered around Peter Parker. Alright, the next thing that I definitely don't care to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the return of Rhino. Now, it looks like he could be done after the Miles Morales game, but you just never know. Any villain could return. In comic book movies and comic book games, anything is possible. I have honestly had my fill of Rhino in this universe though. We had multiple missions where we dealt with him in Spider-Man PS4, and then in Spider-Man Miles Morales, he was just about the only villain aside from the Tinkerer. And man, they really tried to stretch out Rhino in that game and use him as much as possible, to the point where they were giving him new armor to try and add variety to the boss fights. But after Miles Morales, I'm certain that I don't care to see this character again anytime soon. So yeah, I doubt that we will see more of him. I think it's time we expand to other villains within this universe, like Mysterio and Sandman perhaps. I need to see something new from the villains in this game. Okay, so the next thing on my list that I don't want to have to do is unlock the map. Now, I know that they didn't make us do this in Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I am concerned that we will have to do something to unlock the maps, especially if they expanded to Brooklyn and Queens. I really hated fixing all of the towers around Manhattan in the first game, and having to do it in New Game Plus sucked. Doing it the first time was fine, it was a little annoying, but it's definitely not replayable. Peter has been swinging around New York City for nearly a decade. There's no need for us to have to unlock the map. I know this is a very minor gripe, but it's something that I think about every time I replay Spider-Man PS4. Okay, so the next one up on my list is a pretty big one for me. In my opinion, I feel like Spider-Man PS4 was a little bit too easy, especially on the ultimate difficulty. I feel like once you get a grasp on the combat and mechanics, the game is incredibly easy. So I don't want this game to be easy again. Spider-Man PS4 got even easier once you unlocked all the gadgets and you had all these suit powers to choose from. If you were struggling at any point, you could just start electric webbing everybody or use the overpowered Spider-Bro drone. There was just so many options, and I'm not saying that you should have less options, but the difficulty of the AI needs to be increased for the next game. I even felt like the boss fights were pretty easy. Once you figured out what the game wanted you to do to defeat them, it became easy. It was the same repetitive steps in order to defeat them. I really want a challenge when it comes to playing on ultimate difficulty for Spider-Man 2. Okay, so the next thing that I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is repetitive crimes. I've gotten to the point where I don't even really bother with the crimes anymore. As bad as it sounds, I kind of just swing on past them. When I played Spider-Man PS4 the first time, I enjoyed the crimes, but it didn't take me long to realize that the crimes were getting really repetitive and lacked variety, especially with the carjackings. It was the same thing over and over with the same 3 animations. How about we have some bank or convenience store robberies to stop, where you have to sneak into the bank and rescue some hostages and stealth, and then take out the robbers. Or perhaps you chase down a purse snatcher. That's just some extra things that you could do to help bring variety to the crimes. The more options we have, the better. Alright, now we're at the last thing on my list, and you could guess it, and that is Screwball. Oh man, what a disaster that was in the first game. Not only did I not enjoy the missions, but that character was just downright annoying. I don't have much to say on this because I feel like I don't need to convince anyone that Screwball needs to not be in this second game. It's the one time that all Spidey fans are in agreement. Alright guys, so that's it for the things that I don't want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm sure I missed out on some good ones, so let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. But be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel and need some more Marvel Spider-Man 2 content in your life. It's pretty much the only thing I cover on my channel, and I just want to get us all hyped for the game. But that's it for me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.